Hello, this is Garrett. I am trying something a little bit different today, and we're gonna see how it goes. If people like it, if they don't like it, whatever, it'll be an interesting exercise for me, and might be mildly amusing as well. So, a number of people had commented that an hour to 45 minutes is entirely too long, and it's just it's just too much of a commitment. It's hard to sit there for that long and listen to me talk about any one thing. So I thought, it's really hard for me to condense down talking about anything. I'm a little bit more long-winded. I've got a lot to say once I get going, and then it takes me a while to sometimes find my point, and I'm thinking about it, right? But just for the sake of an exercise, right? And to try and get a little quicker on the draw, a little faster. I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to talk about one of these subjects that some of my audience, some of my friends have suggested or requested. And we're going to go in order of appearance on the comments section of my status update. We're going to start with Bobby Noe. No, I don't know. No, he says UFOs, and I quote UFOs. So that's what he wants to talk about for 5 minutes. I'm already 2 minutes in, and I haven't even started, but I haven't started the timer yet, right? So the timer starts once I start talking about the topic, right? Okay. So, go. All right. So UFOs. First thing I have to say about UFOs is, technically speaking, any flying thing you don't know the identity of is a UFO. UFO stands for unidentified flying object. So it doesn't have to be aliens just because we don't know what it is. It seems like invariably you say UFOs and people are thinking aliens, and then they think you're crazy. And it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, if it was a Russian spy plane that we've never heard of and it's top secret in Russia, then that could be a UFO, as long as we don't know that it is in fact the Russians. We don't know who it is, where it came from, what it's doing there. It's an unidentified flying object. So that's point number one. Second thing is, why does it seem like people who believe they've seen a UFO are treated like they're crazy? I mean, it's just kind of the pop culture thing is those people are nuts. And whenever their characters show up in fictional TV shows or movies, all the other characters are like, you can see this worried look on their faces, like, let's give this guy a wide berth, let's not take him too seriously. And, I don't understand why that is, especially when you consider how much money has gone to programs like SETI and NASA that have put a great deal of thought and time and energy into trying to search for extraterrestrial life in the broader universe. They believe that it's out there, and so they send messages and probes, and they're listening. They've got these high-powered satellites that are listening for any sign of intelligent life out there. And I always find that odd. When an individual citizen does it, it's scary and inappropriate and cause for concern. But when some big organization like a government organization does it, then all of a sudden it's got credibility. It goes to show you put a little bit of money and power behind it, and people take it seriously. It's like that Tevye quote from Fiddler on the Roof, where he says, he's singing about, if I were a rich man. And at one point in the song he sings, the most important men in town would come to fawn on me. They'd ask me to advise them like Solomon the Wise, and it won't make one bit of difference if I answer right or wrong. When you're rich, they think you really know. And that's so true. I mean, when you've got somebody with some wealth, several people or an organization with some money to throw around, millions and millions and millions of dollars, whether from the government or from just somebody that really really wants to meet some intelligent life outside of planet Earth. Once they've got that money and they've got some high-powered equipment, some scientists in lab coats milling about, all of a sudden it becomes credible. Just kind of a weird thing, and in my view. I got a minute and a half left, so I'm pressed for time here. Last thing I wanted to discuss in regards to UFOs, supposing we did find aliens, and we found out that a lot of these UFO sightings actually were extraterrestrials, non-human beings from outside of our planet, from some other galaxy or some other planet or whatever. Would that undermine the Christian faith? Short answer is I don't think so. I don't see why it would. It doesn't say in the Bible that God didn't make any other intelligent beings besides mankind. It would be one thing if the Bible did say that, but since it doesn't, it's not like the appearance of aliens would contradict what the Bible does say. And I do see, I think the ancient aliens folks, that crowd, maybe they have the other side of the coin, so to speak, when they look at the Bible and they look at ancient myths and they see all of these divine beings and angels and whatnot and supernatural things that are happening, and then they chalk it up to extraterrestrials and aliens and connect that to UFO sightings today. My thought is, what if it's just the opposite, where, what we're seeing in the sky today, every now and then, with some of these UFOs, what we are referring to as extraterrestrial beings, it's hard to say, could that be possibly angels? These other created beings God made, that the Bible does talk about, and the Christian faith does attest to. And that's 5 minutes. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about UFOs. That didn't take an hour. Kind of surprised, a little bit fun. And, tune in for the next episode where I answer Charla Brammer's question of what am I afraid of and how to live with courage and not fear in our crazy world. Thank you. God bless.